What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Bundesliga Career Mode. This is the 13th episode of the series, and I'm starting today's episode by showing you a comment I got from Callum Stokes in my most recent episode, and he said, "Excellent business, Docs. This season isn't for the immediate league-winning signings, it's for the next couple of years. These players you're signing will probably be useful in and around the squad, if not starters, for years to come, where players like Ekdal and Ilacevic may not, and I think you'll be in the top 4 definitely. Of course, in the last episode I did sign 4 new players on transfer deadline day. Go check it out if you missed it. I'll leave a link to it in the description down below. And the players that come in, some of you guys weren't too convinced by them, particularly Stendera, but I have to say, you got to remember, this is a project here with Hamburg, and although it seems like our squad right now hasn't made too many major improvements since when we took over, it's a project. We got the young players coming in with good potential, and in years to come I'm sure they'll contribute either in the first 11 or just in the squad and be really beneficial for us. So thank you for your comment, Callum, and hopefully we'll indeed get into the top 4 come the end of the season. But following that, we did some player training here, and I used the manager career focused training thing you got from the catalogue as well. Now, I've never used this before, but apparently it gives you double growth, so I decided to use one, and it turned out to be the case. Valente and Hoffman both grew a rating each, and that was really good to see. So I don't think I'll abuse it too much. There are several you can buy from the catalogue, but I think I might buy one per season just to speed up the growth of certain players and hopefully watch them progress far quicker.
It's going to be very tough for the opposition today to break down the home team's defence. When you look at the stats, very few teams have broken them down.
Well, defending is an art, and sometimes a forgotten one in this day and age, but this lot haven't forgotten it, that's for sure.
And coming into the first of 3 games in today's episode, we will take on Borussia Mönchengladbach here at the Volkspark Stadion. Of course, our last game was also a home game. It was the thrilling 1-1 draw against FC Köln, where it looked as though the away side were going to become the first team to beat us in the league this season at home, and also end our unbeaten streak after 6 games when they won a penalty in stoppage time, but Cesar Valente came up big and made the save. So what a thrilling game that was. Now taking on Borussia Mönchengladbach, a side who finished in the top 4 last season, this year not playing as well, and just 15 minutes in, what a start to the game, because we would take the lead in what I thought was incredible fashion. When this goal was first scored, I went absolutely mental, because I thought Dermich had just scored a bicycle kick goal, a contender for goal of the series, let alone goal of the season, and put the ball past the goalkeeper Jan Sommer against the club he's currently on loan from. But in the end, as you can see, it's not Dermich who gets the goal, it's Julian Brandt who comes flying in out of nowhere, wins the header before Dermich can make connection, and heads the ball past Jan Sommer and makes it 1-0. So Dermich was about to bicycle kick the ball, probably into the back of the net, knowing the form he's been in this season, but instead Julian Brandt flies in out of nowhere, gets his 4th goal of the season and his 2nd since joining Hamburg. So delighted with his signing so far. He's been really good, already 2 goals and looking a very, very threatening player in that cam role. So 1-0 to Hamburg, but in the 36th minute here it's okay for Dermich because he may not have scored the first goal, but he does score the 2nd goal. Shows the respect against the club he's currently on loan from. In the game, no restrictions, you can play the players against their parent club. We do for this game, and how relieving is that, because Dermich has now got his 7th goal of the Bundesliga season. A great cross by Sane, he whips the ball into the centre, Jan Sommer gets caught in no man's land, and Dermich heads it past him and makes it 2-0 to Hamburg. So one Swiss striker beats a Swiss goalkeeper. They're really teammates at Borussia Mönchengladbach, but of course for this season we've got Dermich playing here at Hamburg. It is his 7th goal of the year. So many of you guys want me to buy him next year on a permanent deal, and I may be doing just that as well, as he is currently our top scorer this season. So 2-0 at the break, a fantastic first half from Hamburg. Lars Stindl did go pretty close there late on in the first half to getting Borussia Mönchengladbach back in the game. He put the shot wide, the post on behind for a goal kick, and then 3 minutes after the restart, we won ourselves a penalty off the Borussia Mönchengladbach number 24. As you can see, Werner sprinted into the box, he was taken down, and the referee awarded a spot kick. He did make connection with the ball, but it was the trailing left leg, and I mean, it was a debatable penalty, and again, you know, last season, or well, mainly any career mode I've done over the past couple of years, when I got these sort of penalties, I chipped them down the middle. But for this career mode, you guys voted that I should try and score the penalties, so we do just that with Cesar Valente, and as you can see, he puts it into the top corner, and he is now 3 from 3 from the spot as well. Cesar Valente was the hero, saving a penalty in the last game against FC Köln, ensuring we'd still be undefeated for the 6 games, and also undefeated at home in the league this season. And for this game, not as much pressure here, 4 minutes after the restart. A chance to make it 3-0 though, and surely secured the 3 points with 41 minutes to go, and as you can see, he makes no mistake. Ice in his veins into the top corner. What a great penalty by Valente, and he is now 3 from 3 from the spot as he gets goal number 3 for his debut year. So Hamburg 3, Borussia Mönchengladbach 0. Great penalty by Valente and no chance for the goalkeeper. Unfortunately for us though, just a few minutes after that, there was going to be some sad news because Dermot, who scored in this game and is our top scorer with 7 goals this season, did get himself an injury when going up for a header and had to be replaced. So I took off him and Werner for Luan, and I think it was Tolisso came on as well. As you can see, it was still 3-0 at this stage, but still some sad news there. Dermot, our top scorer with 7 goals this year. It is a shame he's got an injury, and hopefully it will not be a big one and a long one as well. But either way, Leroy Sané went pretty close there. Another good save by Jan Sommer. It was still 3-0, but throughout this entire game, we were the far better side. Luan almost scored here on his debut. A great save by Jan Sommer though, as he turned the shot behind for a corner and kept it at 3-0. But it was how the game would finish. Final score: Hamburg 3, Borussia Mönchengladbach 0. The undefeated streak is now extended to 7 games. We are still undefeated in the league at home this season. We've been fantastic here at the Volkspark Stadion. And in the last episode, I did discuss our top 4 chances. And if we are going to finish in a Champions League place, our home form has to be impeccable. Well, as you can see right here, this is a great game for us. A 3-0 win. One of our best wins all season long. No doubt about that. A really great performance. And Lewis Holtby was my man of the match, playing in that DM role. And also as well, a couple of comments from you guys of late saying, please play Holtby further forward. I really like him in the DM area because he's got high work rates, high stamina. He contributes on both offense and defense. He's very, very key in that DM area, in my opinion. But still, following that confirmation of Dermot's injury, it is a 4-week injury. So it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. Obviously, he's been one of our best players this season. He's our top scorer with 7 goals. It's not a big deal, but yeah, I'm a little bit sad about that. I mean, it could have been like a 3, 4, 5 month injury or something, which would have seen him out for either the rest of the season or most of the rest of the season. But in the end, you know, just going to miss a month and maybe 2 or possibly 3 games at most. It could have been a lot worse, let's just say that. But it's still really frustrating because goals have been hard to come by this season for Hamburg. We're one of the lowest scoring teams in the league, despite our league position right now. And to see Dermot, our top scorer, out for a few weeks and out for at least this game anyway, it's a bit of a shame. So because of that, we'd have to make some adjustments, and as you can see, Shiplock would get a start up top instead of the injured Dermot for this game. So Shiplock getting a chance in the number 9 with only his 2nd or 3rd start of the season, I think, in the league. So I'll be looking forward to seeing how he would do. Julian Brandt though almost scored his 3rd goal since coming in the 33rd minute with the only chance of this game here against Eintracht Frankfurt. His shot going onto the post and behind for a goal kick though. But this is a really poor game, and in the second half here, in the 68th minute, still not much was really going on as Diekmeyer finds Olic here coming off the bench. I've barely used this guy, the Croatian who's retiring come the end of the season in his second stint at Hamburg. I barely used him this season, and actually went just wide the post and behind for a goal kick. So still 0-0. And in the 84th minute here, Eintracht Frankfurt almost won the game and made our unbeaten streak end after 7 games. Ben Hatira's header went over the bar and behind for a goal kick though, and the final chance fell in the 89th minute. As you can see, they take a shot here from just outside the area, but Valente pulls off a really smart save and keeps it at 0-0. So final score: Eintracht Frankfurt 0, Hamburg 0. It is back-to-back clean sheets for Cesar Valente, but this was a really poor game, and I have said it so many times and I'll say it again. I don't know why, but winning away from home seems like an impossible task for me. We've only done it 2 times this season, and it's just really frustrating because, you know, as I said many times before, if you're not winning your away games, you're not winning for half of the season. You know, half of the season gets played away from home. You've got to pick up more points on the road, and that was a really frustrating draw, that one, because with all due respect to Eintracht Frankfurt, those are the teams we should be able to beat either home or away. We're a good enough side to do that. We're in a good position right now. We should be getting the wins in that game. So I was very disappointed we were drawing that game, and with no goals as well, the sign was obvious. We were missing Dermot for that game, we really were. So coming into the 3rd and final game of today's episode here, we will take on FC Ingolstadt here back at the Volkspark Stadion. So glad to be back at home. As you can see, Dermot wasn't fit enough to start this game, but I could put him on the bench. He had a plaster next to his name. He was only half fit, but I thought a half fit Dermot would be better than no Dermot whatsoever. So I put him on the bench, but Luan would start this game. I took Shiplock out of the first 11 after he didn't perform against Eintracht Frankfurt in the last game. Took him out of the firing line, decided to start Luan for the first time in the striker role as well. Of course, he is mainly a left winger, but I kept Timo Werner down left hand side and thought I'd start Luan up top. See how he could do. He's got the pace and he may have the finishing ability as well. We'll have to wait and see. But I think he could be a pretty effective striker for us, especially when coming off the bench. But for this game, he would start in this game against FC Ingolstadt here at the Volkspark Stadion. First chance fell to the away side though, and Matthew Leckie, who got sent off in this reverse fixture away at FC Ingolstadt, had the first chance of the game with Kachunga, fizzed across to the far post, picked out the number 7, but he could only hit the bar, and eventually we scrambled the ball clear. So still 0-0 as the away side almost took a shock lead, but from that we broke, and as Leroy Sané went down the right hand side here, he played it through to Luan, who went down the right flank himself, took out Matip with a Berber spin, then took out Morales with a roulette, and for Luan starting up top, his first start in a Hamburg shirt. Well, how about this for a goal? He missed a great chance at the end of the Borussia Mönchengladbach game that would have made it 4-0 when he was running through 1-on-1, but for this goal he cuts in from the right flank, beats one player with a Berber spin, then a second with a roulette, and on his weaker left foot finesses the ball right into that top corner. The goalkeeper doesn't even dive, but I thought it was kind of funny, didn't notice it at first. Leroy Sané, for some strange reason, was stood on the goal line and had to duck out of the way to make sure he wouldn't block the shot. So goodness knows what Sané was doing, but for Luan, what a moment. His first start here for Hamburg, here at the Volkspark Stadion, and he gets his first goal as well. So Hamburg 1, FC Ingolstadt 0. Dermot on the bench must have been proud as we take the lead in this game in the first half. So delighted with that, and it could have been so much worse as well. FC Ingolstadt could have been in the lead a couple minutes prior to that when they had that chance which hit the bar, but thankfully for us, we took our chance, they didn't, and we led the game by a goal to 0. And that really was the theme for the majority of the game as well. The away side, who did beat us away from home as well, were playing far better than us. League position meant nothing in this game, clearly. They were looking the far superior side. Every single time they came forward, they looked like scoring. But in stoppage time here, we had a great chance to make it 2-0. Luan receives the ball, takes it round the defender here. He's almost out of stamina, the poor guy. He's been running his socks off all game long, but he kept on going, rolled it through towards Tolisso, got a little bit lucky here as it deflected off the defender and found our French substitute, but the goalkeeper made a great save though to deny Tolisso scoring his first goal for the club and turned the shot onto the post. But it was how the game would finish. Final score, Hamburg 1, FC Ingolstadt 0. We return to winning ways. We extend our unbeaten streak to 9 games, 1 game shy of double figures. Here's hoping we can get into that. What a fantastic streak we're on right now. Still undefeated in the league at home as well, but this was not a good game from us at all. We got very lucky in this one. We may have scored the only goal of the game, but the truth of the matter is the away side played far better. On another day, we would have got all 3 points, let alone at least 1, but instead they got nothing. We got all 3 because we were the clinical team and they weren't. They only recorded 2 shots in target in the entire game from the 8 they took. That simply wasn't good enough as they went in search of an equalising goal and they couldn't get one. But that is going to end today's episode of the Bundesliga Career Mode though, guys, so a big thank you for watching the video. Really hope you have enjoyed it. If you enjoyed today's episode, then please do consider leaving a like, because of course much appreciated and it really helps the channel grow as well. Much love to you all, and I'll see you for the next episode in this series very soon.